Hey folks, Post here, welcome back to another Pokemon Masters video, and today we're going to go over one specific thing in the developer's letter that I think that folks have actually been raising issues with. It was apparently controversial. I never thought it was controversial, but apparently it is. So about the legendary event, I always thought it was pretty clear that it would be KYUREM, but apparently some people don't think so. I remember there was like a Reddit post with like hundreds of upvotes, which obviously means it's a popular opinion. That has hundreds of upvotes about, not counting out certain other legendaries as well. So some people have been doubting that it's KYUREM. So let's just go over this. Let's get all the qualifiers, and then we'll look at all the, legendary Pokemon and see who it actually is. So our information, we don't have too much information here, but I really do think we have enough to narrow it down. Obviously, they're all vague. They're not like, you don't have any certainty, right? Our first, bit of information comes from Trista. She says, an unidentified dragon Pokemon seems to have appeared near the glaciers recently. So, in here it says unidentified dragon Pokemon. Although this is vague, it's not, because it didn't say unidentified legendary dragon legendary Pokemon. It's dragon Pokemon. It could be the case that it's just some random dragon Pokemon that has nothing to do with the legendary event, and like the legendary is like Uxie or something, right? So there's that. Is it possible that Trista is talking about some non-related, or I guess some related Pokemon that's not a legendary but also related event? I guess that's possible. Is that likely? Probably not. Again, it's not 100% that Trista is talking about the legendary Pokemon here, but it's very likely that she is. Okay, so we're gonna just count that as the legendary Pokemon. So we're gonna mark our first, our first characteristic of this legendary as being a dragon type legendary. Moving on, the second thing that she talked about here is that it appeared near glaciers, and again, does it have to be that this legendary is completely like a glacier environment legendary? Could it be the fact that this legendary Pokemon just happened to wander into some glaciers? It never been to a glacier in its whole life, and it just wandered. Like, could it be possible that Groudon, who, is this whole ground magma type Pokemon, legendary Pokemon, could it be possible that Groudon wandered into a glacier? Yes, it is possible. But again, we're looking for clues, and we're just going to assume that this legendary Pokemon has something to do with glaciers, and not some random legendary Pokemon that wandered into the glaciers. Okay, so let's do that. Moving on. Another clue that they threw down here says it's an immensely popular legendary Pokemon. This obviously is objective, or not objective, subjective. It's not objective, it's subjective. Is it possible to actually find out what is the most popular legendary Pokemons in the game? And it didn't even say most popular, it's just immensely popular. I guess it's possible. Like, if you do a survey of every single human being on this planet on what's the most popular legendary, or, what's your favorite legendary Pokemon? Okay, sure, you could probably get data on that. But again, this is more or so subjective. So they could totally pull a fast one on us and say it's, Uxie is pretty popular, even though, nothing against Uxie. I like Uxie, right? But they could pull, they could throw that at us and give us no data at all, right? They could just make that up. But again, we're gonna assume this is true. We're gonna assume everything in here is true and is related to the legendary Pokemon. The last clue is that it is weak to rock type Pokemon, or rock type, I guess, rock type attacks, right? It's weak to rock type attacks. So, we got, a few, examples of that, right? This is of all the stuff. Okay, it did also say many opponents are weak to rock type. Okay, I guess we have to put this caveat in here as well, which means, it could be that the fact that all the side mons are weak to rock and the main one isn't. That is also possible, but we're just going to assume that the legendary that we're speaking of is weak to rock. Again, we're taking out all those caveats, right? So let's finally get into the list of possible candidates. So let's go over all the dragon type legendaries. So our first one is in Gen 3 with Latios and Latios. Dragon Psychic, not weak to rock. Next one, RAYQUAZA, Dragon Flying, is weak to rock. Same with Mega RAYQUAZA. I'm not going to talk about Mega forms as I go for the last Mega Dragon type legendary, which means we don't have to talk about that anymore. But next one, Gen 4, Dialga, Steel Dragon, Palkia, Water Dragon, Giratina, Ghost Dragon, not weak to rock. Moving on, Arceus, Dragon. I mean, you know, they wouldn't describe it as that, even if it was weak to rock. Moving on. Reshiram, Dragon Fire, is weak to rock. Zekrom, Dragon Electric, not weak to rock. KYUREM, all three of them, Dragon Ice, is weak to rock. I'm going to just count them as one at the moment. And moving on. Gen 5. Wait, no, that was Gen 5. Gen 6. Zygarde, Dragon Ground, not weak to rock. In fact, it's super effective against rock. And then last few in Gen 7, the Guzzlord, Necrozma, and Naganadel, Poison Dragon, Psychic Dragon, Dark Dragon, not weak to rock. So our candidates are basically, that are weak to rock, our Dragon, our Legendary. We got Reshiram, KYUREM, and RAYQUAZA. So when we're talking about glaciers, Reshiram has nothing to do with glaciers. It has no business being around glaciers. It has nothing to do with glaciers. So again, can it be the case that Reshiram randomly wanders into a glacier? Yes, but we're not going to go off of that. So we're going to disqualify Reshiram here. So if folks are wondering why I'm not disqualifying RAYQUAZA here, is because if you guys watch the movie Destiny Deoxys, the opening scene, it's in some kind of weird ice like place, snowy place, frozen, some kind of frozen land. Could it be a glacier? Possibly. Here's image. Okay, so you know this is basically a really icy place, one of the poles probably. And RAYQUAZA is fighting Deoxys over here. If you guys haven't watched Destiny Deoxys, go watch it. It's a really good movie. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, I guess this is one of the reasons why people are skeptical of it being KYUREM, because people have mentioned this scene. So RAYQUAZA was in a scene in the glaciers or whatever. So, it could be RAYQUAZA. I have 2 points against this. One being that, first of all, the game is game canon, not anime canon. So this shouldn't have anything to do with this at all. And also, in this exact movie, they talked about, she said, I think it was, she talked about RAYQUAZA never leaves the ozone layer. Why now? RAYQUAZA never leaves the ozone layer. So this is obviously, RAYQUAZA doesn't come down here often. The dude's chilling in the ozone layer most of the time, right? So I kind of reject that notion. So that's why even though could RAYQUAZA also be the option, I guess, but based on these two things, that it's an anime canon and the game is game canon, and second is that it's not actually like a glacier dwelling legendary or whatever, right? So there's that. Moving on to another point that people have been making against KYUREM is they said, because of the first sentence over here, it's an immensely popular legendary, and folks have been saying RAYQUAZA is immensely popular, which is true, and KYUREM is not popular. Okay. I don't want to do this, but again, it's really hard to tell, right? But I did find online thetop10s.com, which is, by the way, hilarious. A lot of these lists are super hilarious. I low-key want to do a video reacting a lot of these lists. It's really funny. But that's a side note. But top 10 legendary Pokemon. So how this website works is you could vote for whichever, right? And then the highest, the legendary Pokemon with the most votes are higher. The ones with the with less votes are lower. Number 1, Mewtwo, very popular. Rayquaza, number 2, very, very popular, right? Number 3, Lugia, also very popular. Number 4, Giratina, very popular. Number 5, Dialga, that's pretty popular. Ho-Oh, same. Number 7, oh, would you look at that, KYUREM? Like, okay, at first, I personally, right, I'm not a KYUREM fan, so I never thought, I came into this with the notion thinking, oh, maybe KYUREM's not that popular, because, again, I don't like it, so it gives me a sort of personal bias, thinking, oh, maybe other people don't like KYUREM as well, but apparently not. A lot of people like KYUREM, and it's number 7 on the list, which I would say 7 out of what? A bunch is pretty popular, right? Let's see how long this list goes down into. This also has different forms in here, so you see megas are in here, so all the way down to Jirachi. Really, Jirachi's awesome. He's a mythical, but yeah, they kind of just threw in mythicals and legendaries together, which is fine for our purposes, since none of the other ones are mythical. It doesn't matter. It's for our purposes. It doesn't matter. But anyways, again, is this the most scientific poll ever? No, but it's something, and all the top ones are pretty reasonable, right? Mewtwo, Rayquaza, Lugia, Giratina, they sound pretty reasonable. So KYUREM being at number 7 isn't too unreasonable either, I don't think. So KYUREM, I think, is pretty popular. And we also talked about the Glacier stuff, right? Again, I personally want Rayquaza as the event, right? I love Rayquaza. It's my second favorite legendary Pokemon, right? But it just doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. Like all the evidence that could be used as evidence, because again, all the caveats that we talked about before, points that it's probably not Rayquaza and probably KYUREM, right? So anyways, when we talk about KYUREM, I think it's just going to be the regular form. I don't think it's going to be either of these, just because of the fact that Reshiram or Zekrom isn't even introduced in the game yet. So if they go with KYUREM, it's probably going to be the first form. But is it possible that that the other forms could be it instead? Maybe. Would it be possible that the KYUREM could change forms as well? They'll give us the the DNA splice thing. Maybe. But again, Zekrom, Reshiram, they're not in the game yet. I kind of doubt they'll let us use these guys, so it's probably going to be this one, but going to be these two as well, maybe. So anyways, that's me for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know if you think it's Rayquaza, if it's KYUREM, if it's Reshiram, if it's Arcanine, or any other legendaries, right? I hate that joke, man. But yeah, let me know what you guys think the legendary event Pokemon is in the comments down below. Like and enjoy this video, subscribe to your channel for some more Pokemon Masters content. Join Discord if you want to debate me on this, which I probably won't debate you on it. But just talk Pokemon Masters stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.